This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
It's about comic books and movies. Growing up with Rokusuki. Superman before Zack Snyder ruined him. Man, that sucked. Michael Keaton was the best Batman, while Christian Bale was just deadpan. No one remembers the other ones. Princess Leia in bikinis and Transformer Lamborghinis.
Hell yeah.
Please don't let Shia LaBeouf ever act again.
Please, God, no.
Remembering tales from the crypt, back
do.
when Michael Bay wrote good scripts.
He wrote
And all right
scripts.
here is no mystery, 'cause it's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas. It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas.
Podcast.
Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, number 287. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Scab Jason.
We are recording this week without Jason, and we are not in the Bob Studios because of a natural disaster called the Brigger Immune System.
Yes. A slight cold comes by there, and Jason gets pneumonia.
Is it like the furry rabies?
I don't think it's as serious as furry rabies is, but it's, every other week it's a new malady.
Well, we do wish the Brigger family all the best in health, though.
Yes, we do. Now, there is sickness going around in their house, so we didn't want to go anywhere near the studios, which are located on the property.
Oh, so what do we have for up-downs this week? What do we have? Anything exciting happening, Jeff?
Let's see. Since I last recorded, I did see Dark Phoenix, and it wasn't bad.
Okay.
I don't understand how people say it's the worst X-Men movie when X-Men Apocalypse exists.
Where would you rank it amongst the X-Men movies?
It's better than Apocalypse. It's better than The Last Stand.
Yeah, those two are trash,
I
understandably.
think it's even. I think it's better than X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's better than Days of Future Past. Probably not as good as. Maybe even better than the first X-Men, because that one didn't age well. But X2 and First Class are definitely both better.
And Logan?
And Logan, yeah, Logan's definitely better. And I'd probably like the Wolverine better, other than the end of the Wolverine.
Did we decide that the Dark Phoenix saga was in the cartoon from the 90s?
It was, yeah. They did do it.
So was it better than the cartoon version?
I was never a fan of that cartoon.
I wanted to be a big fan of that cartoon, and it was not good. I went back and watched some of it on like Netflix or whatever it was on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. I watched this when I was in college?
Like, everything just... there's no subtlety to the cartoon.
No.
Like, everything is just, oh, here they go, blah, 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 let's go fight, blah. And I'm just like, oh.
Was the cartoon better than the Dungeons and Dragons on the USA Cartoon Express? Because I remember that was the one I most looked forward to on the USA Cartoon Express.
Okay, I didn't realize that was on the USA Cartoon Express. But
It was.
Yeah.
No, that was better. The Dungeons and Dragons cartoon was better.
Yeah.
It's not
But
good,
I
but it was
remember
better.
liking the X-Men cartoon, but I was...
The Dungeons and Dragons was
10.
better than the movie Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah, with Thora Birch and Jeremy Irons.
And Marlon Wayans.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that was terrible.
Marlon Wayans was in that movie?
Yes.
That might have even been worse than White Chicks.
Are there any of the X-Men movies that are better than the Dungeons and or worse than the Dungeons and Dragons movie?
First Class.
Oh, that are worse? No, First Class was good.
I meant was it X2? Or
The Last Stand?
Last Stand.
Last Stand is worse than the Dungeons and Dragons.
Last Stand is horrible.
No, honestly, Apocalypse is the worst X-Men movie, I think. I think it's even worse than X-Men Origins Wolverine.
The only thing I really hated about that was the Deadpool character.
Deadpool character was terrible.
Was so bad,
Oh, yeah.
and that brought it down somewhat.
There were still other problems with it, but there was some good behind it,
Yeah.
too.
Oh, I still think that Hugh Jackman was a good Wolverine, even in crappy movies.
Oh, yeah.
Is he going to play Wolverine anymore, or is he retired?
I think he retired.
I thought he retired, but there's thought he said he would come back, but they'll probably only do stuff in like either like cut scenes and stuff like that. He might do
Do a cameo here or there.
But he said he'd do it, but he's pretty much retired from the role, is what I heard.
Is Fox still doing it?
I don't know if Fox Studios will still even be a thing once Disney completely takes over.
Well, this is a good segue.
Okay.
Mouse Guard.
Oh.
Did you guys see the
did not.
treatment for Mouse Guard?
I've never heard of this. Is this like Mouse Hunt?
It's based on a string of comics or graphic novels that Fox was agreed to do, and they brought everybody in. They had pretty much an entire staff to do it, and they set it up.
Is this like an animated thing?
Yes,
or?
it's animated. It's pretty much kind of like what the Secret of NIMH time, like combined with Lord of the Rings. Or kind of like Game of Thrones type, with mice as the characters.
So dark, or
it looked dark. And they had a treatment that they released, and it looked pretty damn good. But since Fox sold the stuff to Disney, Disney came in and canned it right away.
And then when they released the treatment, I think Jason put it on our Facebook page.
Yes.
I have not yet watched it, so
I highly recommend you watch it, and I hope somebody picks it up. It was good. It looked for an animation with mice, it did look like it might have a dark edge to it. And
I've never even heard of this.
Mm-hmm.
So someone pick up Mouse Guard if Disney lets you. Disney, let someone pick up Mouse Guard.
I think they should, since they just canned the entire thing.
If they own the rights to it, they might want to just keep it locked away.
Well, they can't. Well, they canned it, and then the pretty much the guy who was the creative force behind it was looking for other studios to pick it up. So,
well, maybe they let him at least do that.
Yeah, hopefully they did, but it won't be cheap.
I did finally see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse today.
I saw that last night. Thank you, Netflix.
Yeah, because it wasn't on Netflix last week.
It wasn't. 26th is when it came out. I looked as soon as we got back, and I'm like, "Oh, it's out." It was good. It was really good.
It was. I thought it was fantastic.
Do you see a Spider-Pig movie coming out?
No, maybe a short or something. I could not see an entire Spider-Pig movie.
Is that based on the Simpsons thing, or is that like a real comic?
I think that's something real in the comics, but not something I read. So
Spider-Man Noir.
Oh God, that was the worst part. Was listening to Nicolas Cage and like, no, you're ruining this movie by putting your voice in it.
It was very distinctively Nicolas Cage.
Yes, I was like hoping that it wouldn't be. Well, actually, I didn't know it was Nicolas Cage going in.
And
but
then you
as
heard
soon
his
as
voice.
he started talking, I went, no.
Nicolas Cage was not bad in Kick-Ass.
No, there were two movies he was good in.
Raising Arizona,
Raising Arizona and Kick-Ass.
I would rank Into the Spider-Verse in my top 5 movies that had Spider-Man in it.
Ooh. Okay.
Including the Avengers ones that had Spider-Man in it.
Oh.
So there's the one Spider-Man Homecoming, 2 Avengers movies, and a Captain America. So 4 so far, with a 5th one opening probably today as we're recording this.
Well, then there's like
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi and
the
Amazing
Garfield.
Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, but those are all at the bottom.
Oh, the Sam Raimi ones?
The second one is
Which
good.
Which one had Doc?
Doc Ock was
the
Spider-Man
second one?
2.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Spider-Man 2. Of all those, that's my favorite.
Spider-Man 1 wasn't bad. Spider-Man 3, not as bad as a lot of the critics say, but it still is on the low end. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was god-awful. That was the one with Jamie Foxx as Electro.
I haven't seen it. I heard it was. I thought it was horrible, so I decided not to put myself through that.
Consider yourself lucky.
Homecoming was good, yeah. There were a couple Avengers that might be in there. But Into the Spider-Verse was real good. I was real surprised.
Yeah, no,
I was rooting for him. More so than I root for Spider-Man most of the time.
I've never been a really big Spider-Man fan either, but
Yeah.
I've enjoyed the most recent treatment of him.
Did I like it because it was like Miles Morales, so not every other Spider-Man story ever told? So it's different because it's a different Spider-Man?
Oh, there were like 5 Peter Parkers in that.
Well, that's my phone. I'll have to turn that off.
Turning off phones.
Oh, HQ is live in 10 minutes.
So, yeah, there were 5. There were like 5 or 6 Peter Parkers.
Well, yeah. But the center of the story was Miles Morales.
Yes.
So is there really a Gwen Stacy as Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's another alternate universe where she got bit instead of him. And Spider-Gwen, as they call it in the book.
They sound interesting, but I'm not sure I'd go back and... Like, I think that the way that they brought it together was like the most interesting way for me to be introduced to the whole thing.
I agree.
I did like Peter Parker Spider-Man having to wear sweatpants.
Oh, no, that's body shaming. You didn't hear that?
No, I liked it.
But they're saying, they're making fun of him because he's wearing sweatpants.
They're comfortable.
But he's fat, so he can't wear other pants.
They're comfortable.
He didn't look all that fat in the movie.
No. He had God, I hate the term, dad bod.
Well, yeah, the way fat shaming is, you can't watch Friends anymore because what they did to Monica when she was in high school.
Well, you're right. Just remember, the camera adds 10 pounds.
How many cameras are on her? Oh, did anybody else do anything this week?
Let's see. Anything else?
So, have you guys seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No.
Well, there's this one episode, I know that you have, but there's this one episode where there's this...
Actually, I've seen the first episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've seen maybe 10 or 15 episodes.
Well, there's this one episode where they hang this, like...
Was that shirt in it?
There was this African mask that they hang on the wall, and whenever anybody dies in that house, they come back to life. So I got a similar-looking mask hanging in my living room. And I also have a mouse in the house. So I set up traps, like real brutal traps that would, because it's been eating my fudge rounds, and I like my fudge rounds.
It deserves to die.
So set up these traps, and next morning the traps are gone, and go looking for them, and a lot of them just have the skin of the mice. The glue traps have just the skin on it.
What?
So apparently the mask is working, and I have zombie mice somewhere in this house going around eating my fudge rounds.
I've seen one mouse get off of a glue trap, and this was, I don't know if I'd call that one a mouse. It's at my place of work, which is a building which was built in the 1880s. Earthen basement, so it can get in. Any type of critter can get in. And I go down in the basement one time, and we have glue traps all over there, and I see this big old mouse rat on this glue trap, and I'm like, oh, they caught Jimmy. And then the mouse flips over on its back and rolls around a thing. The glue trap goes flying, and he just takes off running in the other direction.
Was a big chunk of skin still on the glue trap?
No, he didn't leave anything on it. I just kind of looked at him like, well played. You win.
I cannot defeat you.
Congratulations.
And that happened like 2 days ago, and we've kept the fudge rounds out on the glue traps still, and it hasn't touched it, so it's smarter than we are. Because I stepped on one of the glue traps earlier today.
He had to get rid of my shoe.
We had one of our kitchen girls got caught in a glue trap. Both feet, mind you. She didn't know who was there. She walks over and she's like, "What's this?" And the thing is stuck to both her shoes. And so she's trying to pull it off, and she gets this glue crap all over everything. Fantastic. I mean, I had to like pull leg hair out because it just got all over me too when she was trying to clean it up.
Oh no!
So that stuff is not to mess with. So zombie mice, you win.
So I don't know if that's an up or a down. Like, zombies are cool. Zombie mice are probably pretty cool, but my fudge rounds are still in peril.
I don't know if the zombie mice is going to eat fud rounds, or you're going to find it in your bed trying to chew through your skull.
No, it goes for other living mice.
Oh, okay.
So it's like having a cat.
Oh, that's great.
But then it turns those mice into other zombies, so eventually I'll have a horde of undead
Mice brains.
So that's my
You're up and down. Yeah.
Well, we will discuss Spider-Man
Far
Far
From
From Home next week.
Yes, we already have our tickets for the 4th of July. We decided to be those people to bother the employees of the theater on a holiday.
I really don't consider that much of a holiday, though.
I do. I get off work for it.
I get off work for it for some stupid reason.
I'm doing the fireworks stuff on the 3rd. So
Yeah,
I can stay up late.
So you setting fireworks off in the neighborhood?
Not here.
Okay.
I go elsewhere to do so, but
Someone else's neighborhood.
he spent like $10,000 on the fireworks, and like the grand finale has more than 500 explosions, and it's pretty hardcore.
That is fantastic. That it won't be in this neighborhood.
I'd be concerned that my house would catch a fire.
Yes.
So it's nice being in someone else's neighborhood where I don't have to worry about being partially responsible for anyone's house catching fire that I know.
Should we do our Twitter poll of the week?
Yes. This was pretty much written by, I'm assuming, either intern Hackney or Jason. Talking about Toy Story 4, which nobody here has seen.
Yeah, none of us have seen Toy Story 4 yet.
I have not seen it.
But
I probably won't see it for another 8 months.
If it comes, or no, it's not going to come out on Netflix, is it? Because Disney's going to have their own platform by then.
When it comes out on Disney streaming, and assuming I get Disney streaming,
I'll see it when it comes out onto streaming video, and then somebody I know who buys everything, so I can watch almost all the new movies when they come out streaming. What Toy Story 4 character do you want to see in a spin-off film? And the choices that were given were Little Bo Peep, Forky, Duke Kaboom, and Ducky and Bunny.
So
I know Little Bo Peep. That's
Yeah.
the only character I recognize.
Bo Peep is returning from the first Toy Story movie. Forky is the newest one, who is the center of Toy Story 4 and in the ads. It's the Spork.
I'm not sure I've even seen the trailers for Toy Story 4.
Well, Bonnie is in kindergarten, and she makes a new friend. She literally makes a new friend and, like, glues googly eyes to a spork and feet and, like, pipe cleaner arms, and it comes to life with all the other toys and questions its existence because it's supposed to be a piece of disposable garbage.
That sounds like an interesting spin-off film.
Well, so that's the take of what Toy Story 4 is about.
Okay, so maybe not a spin-off film. Maybe it's just all about. Maybe it's already been made into a film.
Duke Kaboom, I have no clue what that is.
I would guess it's like a G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
And Ducky and Bunny, I have no idea who they are, even though that's who I voted for, because that's the best name of a movie.
I didn't vote because I haven't seen it, and I really only knew who Little Bo Peep was.
I thought Ducky and Bunny. I'd watch that movie.
Okay, so coming in fourth place at 5%, Forky.
Nobody likes the...
It sounded the most interesting to me. Most existential and, like, mind-warping film.
I mean, if you are debating your existence as a toy, I kind of like that.
And you have googly eyes and pipe cleaner arms.
and voiced by Tony Hale.
Yeah, I would... If I was voiced by Tony Hale, I'd question my existence, too. And then tied for second with 21% each, Little Bo Peep and Duke Kaboom, meaning first place at 53% is the one that Jeff voted for, the ever-popular Ducky and Bunny.
Don't know who they are, but I want to see a Ducky and Bunny cartoon. I just kind of imagine they're dating, a duck and a bunny.
No, I'd
still like Forky better.
I'd like the chick and the duck better if it was from Friends.
No, they don't talk. I need my characters to talk.
Well,
otherwise, it's a silent film.
Well, the chick eventually starts
chirping.
No, comes in a roostering and waking everybody up.
Crowing.
Yes.
Cockle-doodle-doodling.
Well, does anybody have anything else to talk about with the Toy of the Week, or should we go on to listener feedback?
I suppose we can go on to listener feedback.
Let's do listener feedback.
That's the sound of me crumbling up paper.
Okay.
Listener feedback is brought to you by me crumbling up paper.
Cha-ching, Jeff owes us all money.
And I'll pay you in IOUs.
Just as good as cash, you know.
Let's see. From Doug.
Number one fan.
Can't give yourself a nickname.
A-Pans.
7. Comicbookresources.com is reporting that Disney is considering a live-action Nightmare Before Christmas remake. Thoughts?
No, thank you.
Why the hell not? Disney's making live-action everything else, and they're making money.
But there's no human or anything human-looking in the...
Oh, Sally looks human.
Just like a Lion King
is almost human.
The quote-unquote Lion King live action.
Well, that was all computer animated.
It's
though,
all
right?
CGI. Yeah. That's just better animation.
It's just differently
But
animated.
like Aladdin, that's got actual human
Aladdin,
actors in
yes.
it. But Lion King, that's still.
But they
a cartoon.
called that
It's
live
just,
action.
Jungle Book, or no Jungle Book.
Jungle Book had
actors.
some humans, so.
But
there are no humans. There was no single person filmed for the screen. They might have done. I couldn't even see them doing any even computer capture stuff.
No.
For animals. Maybe they put it on a real lion and computer captured a real lion.
Or they just videotaped the Julie Taymor's Lion King stage play.
Oh, that would be cool.
But yeah, so for Night Before Christmas, you're going to have Santa Claus.
Sandy Claus. If it's like all like just more realistic animation, I could see it, but with
I'd like to see how they do the mayor. His two faces and he'd swap back and forth. That'd be fun.
Oh, just like probably He-Man would do for Man-O Faces.
Man-E faces.
Man-O Faces.
But I did like Nightmare Before Christmas a lot. And would they keep the same soundtrack, I would assume? They kept it for Aladdin
probably.
or I don't know. I haven't seen the new Aladdin. Did they keep the same songs?
I'm also thinking, now that I think about it, Doug asked this question knowing Jason hates Nightmare Before Christmas. That's probably why we're even answering this question in the first place.
Well, Jason's an idiot.
Well, yeah. But at least he likes The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
His wife doesn't like that.
So
Who doesn't like the princess? Who doesn't?
Someone who would marry Jason.
So we were talking to the Gimp this week, and he made a comment about, God, Jason's taste in movies is so bad. I'm just glad I never agree with him.
Moving on. Per Fish.
Was his name actually Fish?
I don't know. I'm just reading the outline that says Per Fish.
Or would happen to be Rex Brigger?
Well, yeah, but it's Fish. It's on the outline as Fish. That's what I'm assuming. Please explain. Per Clay Travis, sports writer, the NBA has banned the term owner, as in team owner, because it is racially insensitive, and replaced it with governor, per Commissioner Adam Silver. This is real life.
Well, normally anything that Clay Travis reports I ignore. But this actually is a true story, and it's ridiculous. People are becoming too hypersensitive to everything.
I mean,
this person who owns this basketball team is the owner. He doesn't govern the team.
No.
He
hires
fucking
people to govern
owns
the
it.
team. Matter of fact, when I hear governor, it makes me think of an elected office where you can eventually oust somebody. You can't do that to owners. Well, I suppose you can eventually, like they did the Clippers owner.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was going senile anyway.
So why don't they just call them executive producers of the team?
They could, but they're the owner of the team. He put out his money, and he bought the franchise rights of this team, so he owns the franchise.
I have never once in my life seen an NBA game.
Well, you haven't missed a whole lot.
Even on television?
Even on television.
Okay. I've watched some on television. Never in real life. Ew. No.
We're a little jealous of you.
I've seen college basketball, March Madness and all that, but I've never seen an NBA game.
They're usually not that exciting. Then again, in my opinion, the game of basketball is not exciting. You get to the last 2 minutes of the game is all you need to watch, and most of the time the game's out of reach, and you don't even need to watch that.
No, actually, I disagree with that. Good teams, the first quarter, one team will be about 20, and then the third quarter, the other team will catch up. So the fourth quarter, it's actually going to be close.
So the fourth quarter is... So you're saying you don't need to watch the first three quarters.
Oh, exactly.
Just the fourth quarter.
Just the fourth quarter. Yeah, honestly, just the last 10 minutes of the game. Or maybe the last 5 minutes of the game.
Or the last 2 minutes of the game. Well, the last 2 minutes of the game take 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah, because there's fouls. And for some reason, if you call timeout in the NBA, you get to move the ball from the end line to midcourt. You didn't earn that right to move up there. You just called timeout.
You earned that right by buying a team in the NBA and making rules that said you can do it.
It's one of the stupidest rules in all of sports.
I'll agree.
If you call a timeout in the first, 2 minutes into the game, you don't get to move it up. You don't get to advance the ball.
I hate sports where the rules change depending on where in the game it is.
Yeah. A foul in the first quarter should be a foul in the fourth quarter. A timeout in the first quarter.
So in Mario Kart, if you're behind, you get to go faster to catch up to the person in front. You don't like that?
No.
Well,
only if you earn it by getting the right.
And then the person who's ahead will be ahead the entire time because they have no one to slow them down.
They have people who shoot the turtle shells up.
But it's much easier to shoot the turtle shell back than it is to shoot it up.
Yeah, that's the truth. You can shoot it.
Well, then go backwards and shoot it. Have somebody sacrifice themselves to the team. Take them out going backwards on them.
But it's not a team sport. It's everybody on their own.
I'm okay with the computer support and the.
And that's the same thing, right? As the game goes on, you have to give some sort of excitement to the game, some sort of chance for the underdog to catch up.
That's different because they do it at the very beginning and throughout the entire... Like, the person in last at the beginning will get the advantage. The person in last at the end will get the same advantage. It's not like, okay, you're driving so slow through 3/4 of the game, and the fourth quarter will let you catch up. You can catch up in the first lap.
So you're okay because it's throughout, and if it were only during the last half of the race, then
Yes, that's where my problem would come.
okay, I see.
I didn't even realize you went faster at the end. That's news to me.
You just thought that you caught up a lot.
I just thought other people were like, you shrink them down with the shrink ray so they go slower that way. And I just thought it was people cleverly using the power-ups.
I've never been behind.
Asshole.
And no one here can dispute that.
But NBA versus Mario Kart, that's...
I'd rather watch Mario Kart.
Mario Kart is more enjoyable than
Why don't they have more televised video game competitions?
Oh, they have too many
They
already.
have too many.
Where I've never seen, except for YouTube, but I don't.
Wow.
Let's see, they'll
Did
have
ESPN show them?
Really?
one of them does.
One
So I'm guessing they're not interesting to watch because I've never actually seen
the games
one.
that they show. Again, they'll either have a.
They're always first-person shooter games, which I hate
They have
watching.
Madden. I've seen
Yeah.
Madden competitions. They have. I've seen Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then they've had, what's the, there's an RPG one that they play.
Really?
Yes.
On TV.
Okay.
Is it at all interesting to watch?
In a
No.
competition?
It is a competition, and it's by RPG. It's 4 people on a team, and
Oh, so you're going out and battling them with your spells and
but
weapons.
it's not. It's still a third person point of view. It's not a first person shooter, but. And then
Are you fighting other teams
Yes.
or the computer?
other teams.
Oh, okay.
And then what first person shooter do they have out there?
Do they do Call of Duty ones?
Halo, probably. I know that they have all kinds of like world competitions for that. I've never actually seen it, but I always figured that it'd be interesting to watch it. But
Apparently, it's very huge in like Japan and South Korea.
Does anybody here play Fortnite, or have you played Fortnite?
Never.
my son does,
Okay.
and he can beat me. I've tried it once or twice.
I have no interest. I don't like first-person shooters, so I have no interest.
It's like a last person standing, but when you shoot at somebody, they suddenly turn into like a 7-story building or something because you like build stuff and you can block it by building it. So you start shooting at somebody, they build this huge building in front of them. It's very strange.
Where'd that building come from? And I know a couple of friends of mine who played it. And one guy just likes to build, and he gets so angry when people come by and shoot him or his building.
I'm just trying to build.
Can't I just stay here in peace?
I'm not doing PvP.
Oh, do we have some listener reviews, Jeff?
Oh, do you want to read the listener reviews?
I don't care. You can.
Well, okay.
I'm illiterate.
Okay.
I'm not Jason.
That's a speech impediment.
Oh, yeah, brain impediment.
From Nisi at Nisi72. Regarding the new game shows, we discussed some of that last week. Card Sharks is awesome, and Joel McHale is awesome.
Joel McHale is awesome.
Yes.
I started watching Community again, and
It's
just,
better than you remember.
It keeps getting better. I just saw the one where LeVar Burton came, or where LeVar Burton come and sing the Reading Rainbow song to Troy, and he freaks out.
Yeah, Troy just wanted an autographed picture of LeVar Burton and said he brought LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
And he was upset.
Butterfly in the sky,
I can fly twice as high.
take a look.
It's in a book.
The Reading Rainbow.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. Press Your Luck is awful.
That's a shame.
I watched once and never again. Did you notice the whammies are the same recycled ones from the 80s show? I thought that would be a plus, redoing the whammies, because when they tried to redo it in about 10 years ago...
As Whammy.
As Whammy was the name of the game on Game Show Network. They did new whammies, and they weren't as fun as the old whammies.
Oh, I like the whammy when he was on the surfboard, or the one that had the dynamite.
Or with the fire truck.
Uh-huh.
Plus, Elizabeth Banks shouldn't quit her day job. Well, no, her day job's making movies like Charlie's Angels. Keep that up.
Or,
I've never really considered her somebody who, like, grabs your attention on the screen or whatever. Like Joel McHale, he could host his own. He did. Yeah. He did the Joel McHale show in Soup.
The
Soup.
Talk Soup.
But those were, he could do that.
Well, Elizabeth Banks was the host of the shows in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, I'd never watched Pitch
But
Perfect.
she had the other guy there to bounce off of.
The misogynist asshole.
Was that the guy from all those, like,
he is
For Your Consideration?
Yeah, he is the host of...
Best in Show.
Game show...
I don't know.
Current events, or their... They ask questions.
If they had him on the show too, it would probably be better.
The two teams of three and Common Knowledge. He's host of Common Knowledge.
Joey Fat One?
Okay, not that one then.
That's Joey Fatone.
What's the other? What's on the Game Show Network right before?
Oh, the America Says?
America Says.
That guy?
Yeah.
Oh, he's terrible.
And he's the other host on
if he's playing a person who's supposed to be terrible, he probably does a good job.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Fred Willard. I was thinking it was Fred Willard.
He's got three names.
He does have a Fred Willard type look to him, I agree.
He's got three names.
I forget what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I was just looking it up, and I...
Well, if you want to look up, what was the name? America Says game show.
Or I could look I could look up the Pitch Perfect too.
Or you could look up Pitch Perfect. Whatever.
Michael Higgins.
Clark. I don't know. Let's see. We have Kevin at Cincy Explorer. His Toy Story 4 review. Heartwarming. Worming? Ooh, heartworm.
No, it actually says warming.
I know. I pulled a Brigger, and I figured I'd make fun of myself before you guys could. Heartwarming, adventurous, with morals in the story everyone can relate to. It really seemed to be playing to the audience who were young when the first one came out and are now grown up. 9.5 out of 10. So,
John Michael Higgins.
John Michael Higgins. Hey, Michael Higgins.
Mrs. Higgins?
Wiggins.
None of us have seen Toy Story 4, so we cannot disprove this theory.
Yes, 9.5
out of 10. That sounds like a video game rating. Like in all those video game magazines, it's always 9.5 out of 10. From Doug again.
Oh, God, this entire thing is later with Doug.
Regarding Pressure Lock discussion last week, the host, Elizabeth Banks, is the problem, as she's just not enjoyable.
If she had John Michael Higgins with her,
then maybe
it would be better.
John Michael Higgins talking about how women suck and they're bad at everything.
Exactly. Who wouldn't watch that?
The host makes or breaks it, and Joel McHale makes Card Sharks.
Wasn't this exact review just 2 reviews ago?
This is Doug's review. that was Nisi's review. 2 different reviews. But I know I haven't seen her host this show, but I like Elizabeth Banks.
I've never been a huge fan of her.
Now we have from Nick Albright.
Oh yeah,
Jeff Arachi.
That'd be me.
If you were to take someone to Pound Town,
how
long does it take to get there? What's the traffic like? And must-go places. Hashtag, I want to take you to Pound Town. Hashtag, let's paint the town red.
Paint the town red.
It probably takes about 2 hours to get to Pound Town. But you can't go the direct route because there's always construction or the roads being blocked. So you have to know the back ways to get to Pound Town.
So you like going the back way?
Yes, the back way to Pound Town is the best, easiest way to get there.
Do you think if Elizabeth Banks were going to Pound Town, she would take the back way as well?
I could bring her along to the back way. Yes, she could come with me to the Pound Town.
Okay.
We could paint the town red. We'd let Nick join us.
Did she go the back way in the 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Probably. She did everything else.
So, 2 hours to get to Pound Town. Okay, next question. I'm just going to leave that alone.
From Brad at the Cinema Guys. After the release of the moon landing Oreos, what other historical event should have an Oreo release, and what flavor should it be?
The election of Donald Trump and tangerine.
Wow.
Change approved.
I was going to say something about, whatever they find on Oak Island, they should commemorate that in Oreos.
But what flavor would that be?
There won't be any flavor since they won't find anything.
The button flavor. It would be just like regular things, but everything's in the shape of buttons.
Well water flavor.
like Werther's hard candies flavored.
See, the only problem, again, I like your idea of the Donald Trump elected Oreos, but the problem is either, like, a percentage of the population would say these are the best Oreos ever, and everybody needs to eat them, while another separate portion would say that these are the worst Oreos ever, and they are ruining Oreos for everybody else.
So, would you have the tangerine flavor cream, or would you have the cookies the tangerine flavor?
I was thinking the cream. I didn't realize that the cookie was an option.
Well, I mean, it's got to be orange on the outside.
No,
right?
they'd use the white cookie wafer.
Yeah. He's got a very racist point there.
Like the vanilla Oreo.
Maybe the vanilla Oreo wafer with the tangerine cream.
Yes.
See, I thought the tangerine would be on the outside because it'd have to be orange, but then you have to keep it like all white in the middle. That's how I thought you were. He's white to the core. I mean,
I don't have a hall to go down the hall.
I think he's orange to the core.
So just all orange. Okay. From Stunami at Stunami. If Kevin James was cast as Batman, who would you cast as Robin? Also, which villain and who would play them? Well, we got a response here from
he is our Kevin James expert.
Yes, and I agree with Intern Hackney on Robin would be played by Patton Oswalt. I think that is a must. I don't think you can get around that.
I had a different one, but we'll get to it after.
Okay. But Hackney says he would have Penguin as the villain, as played by Paul Walter Hauser, who I don't know who that is.
I have no idea who that is either.
Well, you guys discuss. I'll figure out who that is.
Okay. Me, personally, I would pick... I'm trying to. Oh, I forgot the name of the villain. The one who sings the opera that I think was played by like Elizabeth Taylor in the '66 Batman show. And,
this does not ring a bell.
it wasn't Cleopatra, was it? I don't even remember. But whoever it was, it would be played by Leah Remini, who would just do her laugh or whatever, and Batman would fall under her spell.
So who's Rob? Oh, you said Patton Oswalt.
I said I agree with Patton Oswalt being.
I had Kevin Hart as Robin.
Ooh. He's
for
small.
Kevin James.
Kevin and Kevin. Oh, I see what you're doing
and
there.
Kevin and Kevin, and he's got the Robin type.
Yeah, the big guy with the small sidekick. I can see that.
And I was thinking Christian Bale as the Mad Hatter. Is that his name?
The Mad Hatter. Okay.
And Christian Bale, and it would be because he used to be Batman.
Oh.
But then he also played a tailor in another movie, so Mad Hatter would kind of be like a logical progression there.
Should we have him face villains all played by former people who played Batman?
Uh-huh.
So, like, there will be a George Clooney villain.
Who would George Clooney play?
Two-Face.
I could see George Clooney playing Two-Face.
Michael Keaton would definitely be the Joker.
I can see that.
Yeah, he did Beetlejuice. And
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Why are all Batman villains escaping my head right now?
Well, it's got to be
King
somebody.
Tut. He could be King Tut.
He's
Ben
got to be
Affleck.
somebody more refined and like not as like crazy out there type.
Refined. Who is a refined Batman villain?
The Penguin.
Eh,
I don't know who Paul Walter Hauser is, but there's a picture of him for and he actually tweeted out that
looks
I want
real
to play the
familiar.
Penguin.
he does look familiar.
He looks real familiar.
There's nothing that...
He was in pull up what the stuff he was in. Career best known shows of Sean Eckhart in the 2017 winning film I, Tonya.
I never saw I,
Played
Tonya.
Dale in the 2010 Virginia film Virginia. Keith on the television show Kingdom. He also had recurring role of Deshaun on the show Betas.
I might know him from
Co-starred in Super Troopers 2.
Black Klansman.
Super Troopers 2.
And he was in
That's
Black
probably why he looks
Klansman.
familiar to me. Oh! Okay, he was the stupid guy in Black Klansman.
He was in Superstore.
Yeah, Superstore, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Too Late with Adam Carolla, The Night Shift, Key and Peele, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Community, and Blunt Talk.
Who was he in Community? He was student number 3. Oh, I remember student number 3.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember him from Black Klansman now. And when you said who he played in I, Tonya, I remember the guy who he's playing back from when that story was a thing. So, okay. Yeah, he did a good job of playing the stupid, goofy guy, but you could tell he's not really stupid, goofy, if that makes any sense. I think he could play Penguin. I agree. And we have Kevin at Cincy Explorer. Can you have Disney stop the reboots? Josh Gad is leading the reboot of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I don't dislike Josh Gad, but I still hate reboots.
They're doing them. They're going to keep doing them. So if you're going to do them, at least do the reboots of crappy movies like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with actors who are pretty good, like Josh Gad, and then I might not have as big of a problem with it.
Is he a Tony Award winner?
You don't like Rick Moranis?
I don't dislike Rick Moranis, but I disliked Rick Moranis and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Well, I saw it when I was a kid, so maybe it has aged poorly. Like, I loved the Neverending Story when I was a kid, but that aged very poorly.
It still hasn't ended.
It's still going on.
I think Josh Gad won a Tony.
I know the show he was in one, but I don't know if he did. Well, if only there were a device that's already open to IMDb where I could check that. Let's see. Awards: 7 wins and 5 nominations. He won an American Comedy Award for Breakout Performer of the Year in 2012. He won Annie Award for Outstanding Achievement in Voice Acting in an Animated Feature Production from 2014. That was probably Frozen.
Well, it was 2012.
I don't know. Behind the Voice Actor Award for a feature film voice acting winner from 2014 in Frozen.
So he played the snowman in Frozen.
Yes. A lot of voice acting awards for Frozen. Ensemble, supporting. Wow, that's okay. So
he didn't win a Tony then.
And he won a Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album. So that was 2012 Book of Mormon.
Could have been.
That might have been what he won Breakout Star or whatever Breakout, and then where did it go? Frozen. Oh, he won a Razzie Award nominee for Razzie for Worst Supporting Actor in Pixels and The Wedding Ringer in 2015. He won the Show West Convention USA for Best Ensemble in the movie 21. I don't know what Show West gives awards for, but apparently. And Teen Choice Award nominee in 2017 for Scene Stealer in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, he was the gay Gaston's gay friend.
LeFou. Yeah, first openly gay character. I'm like, if that's as openly gay as they get, because he's like, I felt weird dancing with a guy. That's openly gay, apparently. I still don't get that controversy. Yeah, a lot of Frozen. And then, just American Comedy Awards, Breakout Performer of the Year. That was probably for, what do you call it? Book of Mormon. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
All right, well then let's move on.
So this is the news of the geek. So, per comicbook.com, with Star Wars Galaxy Edge, Disney has embraced those fans by offering unique keepsakes for purchase at the attraction, which have already made their way onto the auctioning site eBay. Unfortunately, some fans are going to even greater lengths to earn a profit, as they've taken to stealing items from within the park that aren't for sale in hopes of selling them for a hefty premium. Items like maps of the park, coasters from Oga's Cantina, and cards handed out to guests on Smuggler's Run that determine your position on Millennium Falcon Ride have all been popping up on eBay to fetch a profit. The outlet noted that some keepsakes that were never intended to be flipped on eBay have begun to disappear from the park, though Disney hasn't commented on if this is a reaction to those who are stealing them and selling them. The wildly popular Oga's Cantina has been the hardest hit. The postcard-sized cards visitors receive when they return to join the Cantina's virtual queue are now showing up on eBay bundled with packages of other Galaxy's Edge loot. Oga's name is spelled out on the card in a stylish Arabesh font. Hosts are supposed to collect these cards as patrons enter the bar, but the outlet added, the laminated, yay, way to go, Jason! The laminated menus from Oga's Cantina started showing up on eBay for $40 during the Disneyland employee previews before regular visitors were even allowed into the park. Oga's employees now hand out the Ragged Edge menus selectively and collect them more quickly once you've placed an order. The thievery is also extended to the flatware, which is intended only to be used within the park. Oga's has begun stationing an employee at the exit to make sure the interstellar glassware that the Cantina's alien cocktails are served in don't walk out the front door. The OCR claimed bartenders would trade the empty 32 to 42-ounce souvenir mugs sold in Oga's for a box and bagged glass for easier carrying. Alcoholic beverages must be consumed inside the first Disneyland bar open to the public.
This seems like something that would not be fun to go to. A place where everybody's always trying to steal things and everybody's trying to go there, and it's just like, it just seems like a free-for-all type of...
It's the old West!
Everybody's not enjoying being there. They're enjoying telling others that they're there type of place.
Oh, yeah. Star Wars fandom? Isn't that pretty much the extent of the people who are Star Wars fans? They
finally have a mecca.
They get a bigger thrill of telling people they're Star Wars fans than actually enjoying the product put out.
No, they have a bigger fan telling you they're Star Wars fans and that these most recent movies suck and that they need to sign a petition to get them remade than to actually enjoy the actual product.
I agree.
And honestly, if you're trying to make a profit on a fucking menu at from a restaurant. You're putting it on eBay. You're pathetic. The only person who's more pathetic is the loser who's out there buying
bidding
it.
on them. Ooh, I can get an authentic menu from Disneyland without ever going.
Do you think George Lucas is turning over in his grave?
He's not dead, so no.
But if he were, do you think he'd turn over in his grave?
Because he's not getting the money?
Is that...
Yeah, that's,
that's
the only reason he turned over his grave is because, wait, why don't we sell these menus?
We could be making a profit off of these menus.
Apparently they go for $40.
Just go ahead and sell, with the entire bill. You walk up there and you get your check, and it's like, okay, my Coke is $6, my hamburger was $28, and I got a $4 menu charge.
$4? It'd be more like $40.
Oh, they're not laminated.
Oh, but the lamented menus.
The lamented menus are $62.50.
What is Oga's Cantina? Is that in one of the new movies, or is
No,
that
I
the
think it's
actual Mos Eisley
I think
Cantina?
it's made up for this, but I could be wrong. Is it? Is that what the Mos Eisley Cantina was named?
I'm assuming, but...
Do we know who Oga is?
Oh gosh, if only there were a device where I could find that out.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Okay, well, you guys are looking up Oga. I'll go on to Per Unilad. More than 20,000 Christians have signed a petition demanding Netflix to cancel Amazon Prime series Good Omens. The television series adapted from Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman's 1990 fantasy novel and was released on Amazon Prime last month. The 6-part series, starring David Tennant as the Demon Crowley and Michael Sheen as the Angel Aziraphale.
Close enough.
Sees the two working together to prevent the coming of the Antichrist and the imminent apocalypse. Before Pratchett's death, its alleged last wish was to adapt the novel they wrote together. However, Christians round together by Return to Order campaign and U.S. Foundation for a Christian Civilization are calling for the series to be canceled. More than 20,000 people have signed the petition, which says Good Omens is another step to make Satanism appear normal, light and acceptable, and mocks God's wisdom. Their complaints include that the fact God is voiced by a woman.
Oh my God!
My God, Frances McDormand.
If any woman,
Yeah. And that the Antichrist
that.
is a normal kid. Adding this type of video makes light of truth, error, good and evil, and destroys the barriers of horror that society still has set for the devil. Gaiman responded to the petition on Twitter, writing, "I love that they're going to write Netflix to try and get Good Omens canceled. It says it all, really. This is beautiful. Promise me you won't tell them." In response, Netflix agreed to cancel. Oh, no. Yeah.
Netflix agreed that they would not make any more Good Omens.
And in response, Amazon Prime agreed to not make any Stranger Things.
But, oh, yeah. Well, it's like, oh, we want you to cancel it. It's like, well, okay, we already made it. It's a miniseries. It's done.
And it's streaming for free, so without advertisers.
I got an idea. You don't like it?
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. Oh, or you can go ahead and you can do this, and then you can give more publicity to the show, so more people are going to watch it.
Although I think the people that would like sign a petition like this, like this type of Christian, would be ones that would like kind of more embrace the fact that people are Satanists out there because they actually believe in the Christian dogma if they believe in Satan, versus atheists or agnostics who don't even believe in your God at all. They're just following the other path versus your path.
No, I'm sure they would try and get rid of any atheists out there and make a television show too. Because if you disagree with them, you're wrong, and you're going to hell.
But I mean, these people are telling you that Satan is real, and he is evil. I mean, that is written pretty much in what the Satanists and in this story, you know? Satan is actually going against God. He's sending the Antichrist to Earth. I mean,
But it really sounded like their biggest problem was that God was a woman.
Yeah, the fact that that was the first thing listed, I'm like, did they mean to put it in that order?
Yeah, probably. Well,
And it wasn't even Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, they are the same people that.
Well, Alanis Morissette's God voice will destroy you. That's why you had to get Alan Rickman to be her voice.
And these same people are probably the ones that went to a protest Dogma out front.
Probably with Kevin Smith.
Oh, that was still one of my favorite interviews of all time. It's when the news reporter went to interview the people who were boycotting Dogma, protesting Dogma, and Kevin Smith went out there and protested with them. And she
got interviewed.
And she interviewed him for it,
not
knowing that he was the writer and director. He was all for everybody protesting his movie because that's just free advertising.
Oh yeah, I know people who heard this story and thought, "Oh, I've never even heard of Good Omens. I'm going to watch it now."
Exactly. I haven't heard of it or I had heard everything that was going on, so I thought I might watch it because of the.
Jeff and I would watch it anyway because we read the book.
Yes.
So we were a fan. He's a big Terry Pratchett fan.
And he's a Neil Gaiman fan. And they wrote the book together. Yes. So. Going back to Oga's Cantina. Oga's Cantina was found in the Black Spire outpost on the outer rim planet of Batu near Smuggler's Alley and was owned by an intriguing bartender named Oga Gara.
Was this from
Han
Solo?
Could have been. I don't know.
That's my
the
guess.
Gambling bet or the gambling place.
Okay.
With all the races.
Well, here's a picture, and I don't know if this is just from the from Disneyland or if this is from a movie, because it kind of does look.
It looks like the cantina from.
It looks like the Star Wars cantina.
New Hope.
But that's not on the planet Batu.
Yeah, that's...
All you listeners can see this, right?
Yeah, see, look.
You scratched my screen. But yeah, it's not the cantina because that was on Tatooine. So even though it looks
and
just like
Eisley.
it, yeah.
Well, they don't care. Disney doesn't care. They're going to take everything from Star Wars and sell it out and make it commercialized. And
there's a drawing of it that it kind of looks like Jabba's palace on this drawing.
Yep. Okay, now we got a quickie. Per Variety, Paul Rudd has joined the cast of Sony's upcoming Ghostbuster sequel, which has Jason Reitman attached to direct. Further details on his role are unavailable, but it's believed that he'll be portraying a school teacher. Unrelated net, the long-awaited true sequel to the original duology is now operating under the new title Ghostbusters 2020.
Oh, that's
Like
a
their
terrible
vision.
That's a terrible title.
Plot details
It's the
are...
year. You're not allowed to put the year in the title of your film? I mean, what about Blues Brothers 2000?
Oh,
yeah,
no,
or
we'll
like
just
Blade
forget
Runner
about...
2049.
We'll just forget about Blues Brothers 2000.
Well, the writers forgot about it when they were writing it.
Yes. Plot details are being kept under wraps, but the film is said to follow a younger cast of ghost-busting heroes as they battle a new paranormal threat to the world. A single mother and her family will be at the center of the stage, with Carrie Coon playing the mother, Finn Wolfhard playing her son, and McKenna Grace playing her daughter. Yep. Anybody excited about that, or could care
No.
less? It's another reboot, remake, sequel.
I'm going to go as far as, apparently I'm like the minority, but Ghostbusters was just okay to begin with. It wasn't this groundbreaking, must-see, change-your-life movie that most people seem to be making it. So,
Well, I guess I'm changing my 1980s.
So Ghostbusters 2, god-awful and should never be watched by anyone.
I completely concur with that.
So you that's the way I feel about Back to the Future.
I
Really?
think Back to the Future is overrated, but Back to the Future is better than Ghostbusters, in my opinion.
I think Back to the Future is better than Ghostbusters, but I thought Ghostbusters was very good.
Back to the
Very
Future,
fun.
I thought was as all the hype it got and it still gets and everything. I go back and rewatch it. It's still, to me, it's meh. But that's my opinion.
It's an 80s movie, and it's a very good 80s movie.
And again, the sequels suck.
Both those sequels were horrible.
I did like the sequels to Back to the Future.
Oh, no, I thought they were terrible.
The Wild West was bad.
When people talk about, best film trilogies, and you have to put Back to the Future, I'm like, well, no, because there was one good movie in that trilogy. So either it's a bad trilogy or not a trilogy, depending on how you look at it. One good movie with no other movies, or a bad trilogy because you got 2/3 of it suck.
I even like 2. Nobody likes 2.
I rank the Hobbit trilogy better than Back to the Future.
Ooh.
Had
All
better
right.
special effects. And more dragons.
Isn't that enough? More dragons. All right, moving on.
Jeff,
Yes.
what are you doing on September 20th to September 22nd?
I'm going to be at the Cincinnati Comic Expo.
Oh, who else is going to be there?
Marina
Baccarin?
Yeah, I'm turning into Jason here, and I can't pronounce her name. Marina Baccarin.
Anybody else from Firefly?
Alan Tudyk.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else?
Jewel State.
Oh, yeah.
And Sean Marr.
Oh, that's a lot of them.
That is a lot. I mean, yeah, they get to follow River Tam, is played by who was there last year?
Summer Glau.
Summer Glau, thank you. I forgot my wife's name. That's embarrassing.
Adam Baldwin going to be there?
No.
Damn it. He was great in My Bodyguard.
He was great in My Bodyguard.
Chuck is one of my favorite shows.
Yes.
But other people are going to be there, like Nichelle Nichols.
Oh,
Uhura. Brett Spiner.
Oh, so
Data. So we got our Star Trek covered. So Hobie will be there.
Hobie will be, except for Blake.
Well, yeah. Well, that's because we can't find Blake.
I don't know where he is tonight.
He's AWOL.
He said he was going to show up, and I don't know.
I think maybe he went to the Bob Studios.
He's got the Mercer.
Okay, yeah, so September 20th through the 22nd at the Duke Energy Convention Center. You can get tickets at CincinnatiComicExpo.com and a full list of who's going to be there.
Yes. And other network promo stuff. Listen to the Cinema Guys. Brad would appreciate that.
Brad would, yes.
And
See, we would have a nice bumper here to play for you, but we're not in the studio because it's quarantined. So we'll have to just do our own Cinema Guys pre-promo.
yes.
Hi, we're the Cinema Guys. Listen to our promo. We talk about movies.
Is there a Cinema Girl?
There is a Cinema Girl. We call her...
Lizzie or Rose.
Lucy Rose, our Cinema Girl.
Change not approved.
I'm about to say, we were also going to play the Nerdy Bitches bumper, but I don't think I want to get in trouble with them.
Yeah, just go to the Nerdy Bitches on all your podcasting sites and listen to them.
All right. I suppose we're moving on to our box office reports. We really don't have any big news, do we?
No, I don't think there's any really big bombs out here this week.
Nope. So we'll just go right into our top 5 and get this show moving. Number 1 this week, Toy Story 4 made $58 million, a total of $237 million on a $200 million budget. Disney makes more money.
They can make up for all those menus that got stolen.
Number 2, Annabelle Comes Home made $20.5 million in its opening weekend on a $30 million budget. Is this another killer doll movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or it's like a Little House on the Prairie movie.
With a killer doll?
Annabelle just happens to... Does anybody with the name Annabelle automatically have to be a killer doll from now on?
Yes.
Well, isn't there
Like,
an Annabelle
like
that's a killer
Chucky,
doll?
anybody with the name Chucky has to be a killer doll?
Otherwise, you call yourself Charles or Chuck or Chaz.
Just one movie comes out with your name in it, you're automatically a killer doll.
If it was just one movie, maybe. But there's been 8 Chucky movies. We discussed this last week.
I think there's probably about that many Annabelle movies, too.
Yesterday made $17 million in its opening weekend on a $26 million budget.
I heard it was actually real good.
I want to see it.
I do want to see it.
I like the premise.
My guess is the 26 million, probably 25 million of that was to get the rights to play Beatles songs.
I saw an interview with Danny Boyle where he said that was definitely the most expensive part of the budget. Was just the rights to the Beatles songs. Aladdin made another $9.5 million, a total of $306 million on a $183 million budget.
That amazes me. That it
It
didn't look good,
No.
and people are still going to go see it.
And, it's still worldwide. I'm not sure exactly what it's done worldwide, but it is officially now Will Smith's highest grossing movie. I mean, and this is the guy, who had all those summer blockbusters for a spell of years there.
It's more than Independence Day, more than Ali,
All the Men in Blacks.
all the Men in
Or
Black.
most of the Men in Blacks.
That's amazing. Oh, God. People today have just...
More than After Earth. Oh, I went there. I'm sorry.
That Netflix movie where he was
Bright?
like... Yeah, Bright.
I Am Robot.
iRobot.
I Am Legend.
Yeah. Combining them two together, it's my favorite Will Smith film.
I Am Robot.
Number 5, The Secret Life of Pets 2 made another $7 million, a total of $131 million on an $80 million budget.
I would rather watch that 9 times out of 9 than Aladdin.
Wow. I think by the 9th time I might get tired of Secret Life of Pets 2. And just...
It'd be like, is this sort of... let's keep it on. Aladdin's on the other station.
I rewatched the old cartoon not that long ago, and it's not good. Like, the Robin Williams jokes and Stick does not age well. And it was just not good.
But he made a Tupperware joke.
He did.
Dude, that was funny.
Okay.
Upcoming July 3rd, that is tomorrow, or today probably when you're listening to this, or yesterday, or a week ago, depending on when you listen. But upcoming July 3rd, 2019, we have Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Here's a pretty good plot summary. Following the events of Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man must step up to take on new threats in a world that has changed forever.
Ooh, I don't have any clue what it's about.
Yes.
Also coming out is Midsummer.
Midsummer. A couple travels to Sweden to visit a rural hometown's fabled Midsummer Festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult.
Pagan cult.
Isn't this the same plot as Zombievers?
No, it is not the same plot as Zombievers. There was no pagan cult or Midsummer Games or anything.
But they went to like a wooded campground.
They went to a cabin in Zombievers. Yes.
Yeah. It reminds me of Zombievers.
I mean, they said it was a pagan cult, not a radioactive canister that got loose and poisoned beavers.
But all bad guys are the same in one way or another, right?
Sure.
So it's just the same setting, just a different bad guy.
All right, so we don't have to see Midsummer because we already saw Zombievers.
Unless you haven't seen Zombievers yet, then watch this, and then watch Zombievers. And...
I've seen Zombievers. Were you there when
I think we watched that together, yes. With Jason.
Yes. Oh, okay. Buy or sell the stock of actors or actresses. Today we are talking about Vera Farmiga, who apparently was in a movie.
She was in Annabelle Comes Home.
Ah. She is currently at the Hollywood Stock Exchange at $30.38.
That seems too high for someone I've never heard of.
She was the mother in the Bates Motel show. Wasn't that her?
Actually,
and she was in some George Clooney movie.
the high for this year is $69.
She was up as high as 69.
She was in Godzilla King of Monsters.
Oh, she's plummeted to 30. So if she comes back to the next Godzilla movie, maybe she's...
Yeah, she was with Clooney and Up in the Air.
Yeah, that's where I first heard her. She got an Oscar nom for that, didn't she?
Yes. I might buy, because it's pretty low at $30 with another horror movie coming out, The Conjuring 3, which she will be in September 2020. So you got a year to wait on that. She's in the movie Skin coming out in the end of July.
See, that title, Skin, I don't know whether it's a horror movie or a sexy porn movie. I mean, it could go either way.
It stars Jamie Bell in the true life story of Byron Widener, who raised by neo-Nazi skinheads, but wants to change his life. He undergoes painful operation to remove his tattoos with the support of a black activist.
It went neither way.
We should have gone the whatever that feature that you guys have, where you just have the title and guess it.
We should have guessed the plot based on that.
I got the board game Balderdash, and the new Balderdash has movie titles.
Oh yeah,
and you have to guess what the movie's about. Or you have to make one up so that somebody will guess it.
Oh, no, that wasn't the original Balderdash. That was in my favorite category.
It was in the Beyond Balderdash.
Yeah. Okay, the original just had the words.
The original just had the words, and then they made a Beyond Balderdash. When they reprinted it, they dropped Beyond, and it's now just Balderdash again.
Because I still love when they give out this movie title, and I actually wrote down, and I got 4 of the 7 people to vote for this. It was A Young Woman's Erotic Journey from Milan to Minsk. And anybody who's seen Seinfeld
knows that's the plot of Rochelle.
4 people voted for it. Then there was myself and 2 other people going, that was Seinfeld.
Well, at least they didn't ruin it before the vote.
No, because you get yelled at for doing that.
Well, you should. Okay. Also, we got Kate McKinnon. The stock of Kate McKinnon is running $32.60. I don't know what she has coming out.
She just did yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, the crappy movies she's been in: The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Yeah,
Ferdinand. Office Christmas Party, Ghostbusters, Finding Dory, Angry Birds Movie, Sisters, Masterminds. Yes.
She's a Saturday Night Live person.
Yes.
And she's very talented. She just hasn't been in great movies. So I'm waiting for the movies to catch up, maybe.
Again.
Or maybe I'm just blinded by the fact that she's just as good as the movies she's in. I don't know.
The high she's been is 44.73 this year.
I'm still going to buy. I've heard good things about Yesterday.
I think Kate McKinnon could be good, so I want to buy.
The next movie she has coming out December 20th,
Christmas
Bombshell, a.k.a. Untitled Charles Randolph, a.k.a. Fair and Balanced. Examine the sexual harassment of women and the toxic male culture of Fox News.
Oh.
I'm selling.
Can I change my mind?
Anything else after that? Or
it was something that hasn't been given a date yet.
So right now it's just Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
What she has on the Yeah, I think I'm selling until something else comes out. Alrighty. Are we ready to do our top 5 list?
Time for top 5.
No, I'm not ready yet.
Oh. As Jeff was on last week and we discussed, and we actually discussed what the top 5 was going to be one episode, and did that top 5 the next episode.
I fought for it. I really did.
So they didn't tell you what the top 5 was, and you come in, prepare for it, come in, and it's something completely different.
That's happened.
Like every other episode he's on.
But the top 5 is top 5 movies of the last 5 decades, 1 movie per decade. So it's the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s.
Does number 5 have to be the 70s?
You can put them in whatever order you want. I think I'm just doing mine.
Okay, that's how I had mine as well.
If you wanted to put them in which movies you like better, I just I'm doing mine chronologically.
Okay, well, Jeff, you want to give us Jeff's a start?
I can start if we're starting with the 70s.
Yep.
I picked 1979's Monty Python's Life of Brian.
Ooh.
It is one of my all-time favorite funny movies to watch, and I think it is just a well-made movie. Monty Python can sometimes go too far on tangents, where I think they kept to a script with their little tangents where need be, but I really enjoyed that movie, and it got a slight nod for me above the other Monty Python movie, Holy Grail.
Always look on the bright side as they're being crucified.
I'm Brian, and so's my wife.
Okay. Jeff,
clicking pen.
What's your number 5?
Oh, my number. It was a tough one. It was between a couple. I think I'm gonna go with Annie Hall, the Woody Allen masterpiece, his best.
That's bananas.
It's not that crazy.
Oh, BANANAS bananas.
But it was between that and Dawn of the Dead, and that's always been one of my favorite films.
You made a good choice on that.
Always been, but Annie Hall is probably a better film, and will probably be remembered long after Dawn of the Dead.
And I like the story on how Annie Hall was pretty much rewritten in the editing room.
I hadn't heard that story.
Oh, like the story was supposed to be something completely different, but nothing worked, and they found the parts of the story that worked were what they edited into the final piece. But I mean, there was some weird tangent. I don't even remember what it was that it was supposed to go on, and they said that didn't work, and they found what they had. They thought was pretty good,
and it was. Best movie of the 70s.
And it beat out Star Wars for Best Picture at the Oscars, pissing off almost every moviegoer I know.
I have it ranked above Star Wars.
All right, Jim.
Okay, I will go 1978. It's a comedy, and I just watch it every time it's on. It's Animal House.
Animal House.
Again, it's the start of Kevin Bacon's career.
That's the best thing you can say about it?
Donald Sutherland got paid $10,000 to do it instead of getting a percentage.
Because he didn't think it would make any money?
Tom Hulse. I just think it's hilarious. And
I can't argue. I like Animal House.
Yes.
And a movie that can't be done today.
No.
And we all chose comedies for 70s.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, and the 70s is when, like, late 60s to early 70s is when all the gritty movies were finally
Godfather,
allowed to be made. Yeah.
Deer Hunter,
Apocalypse
Now.
Like because in the late 60s they finally dropped the code or whatever, the Harris Code? I forget what it's called. But they dropped the code and then brought in the rating system where you were allowed to make a lot of grittier movies. So all these arty movies that they made in the early 70s or whatnot. And
when I was looking up, I was trying to pull up on like Wikipedia a list of all the films in the 70s. First thing that pops up is 70s, the golden age of porn.
Oh, Okay,
A
well,
lot of those I haven't seen.
I thank goodness Blake's not here to do his list.
Oh yeah, Debbie does Dallas would be on Blake's list. Do we have Jason's
Throat.
list?
We have Jason's list. Number 5 for Jason. Or it would
Did
be
he go in the Did he do it by order? Or?
1970s. The Exorcist.
Huh. Okay.
I wouldn't have pegged him as a
No.
horror movie.
But he
type.
does like horror movies.
Yes.
I'd peg him more as a slasher fan than
Yeah.
existential.
Psychological.
Yeah.
And then Jason's next for his number 4.
So we're in the 80s?
We're in the 80s. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back.
That's a good one.
That was predictable.
Yes, for him. Definitely predictable.
Then again, my list is predictable too if you've been listening to this podcast long enough.
So we've got... Okay, I won't ruin any of it.
Well, when it gets to mine, I'll see if you can guess.
Okay.
Okay, then. Next,
Jim?
my 80s music movies, I hobied this.
Oh, of course you did.
Because that's just... Again, these aren't really maybe the best movies. I didn't say... These are the ones I find, like, the most watchable. Like, over and over.
The thing was best movies.
Yes, but these are still quality films. If you have Animal House, and pretty much the makers of that do Caddyshack
Okay.
from 1980. And then next, I also covered that with 1989,
Oh, okay.
the best movie about baseball, Major League.
Oh, so the best movie about golf and the
And best movie about baseball.
And
So
neither
they're
of them have
related.
Kevin Costner in it? Wait a minute. When you were going that way, I thought you were going with another 1980 movie.
Nope.
You surprised me on that. Okay, Jeff.
My 80s movie was Blue Velvet. The David
Wow.
Lynch
You're
masterpiece.
You're crazy.
Absolute masterpiece. And it's so weird and it's so
Difficult to watch.
purposely difficult to watch at times for that, but it's like mixing that difficult to watch with just the normality of life on one hand, and then suddenly just the whole voyeurism of film itself as he's in the closet watching Isabella Rossellini get raped.
Yeah.
It's
So is the
fantastic.
Serbian film coming on your list in the
No.
2000s? Oh. Or did you want to take a guess at what my 80s film would be?
80s. I was
Give you a hint.
Clue.
Clue!
Oh
The
yes,
movie!
yes. That would have been my yes.
Mind you, his hand, he was pointing at the board game sitting on the shelf.
I was looking at the
dogs playing
I was
poker.
looking at the dogs playing poker on the wall, and then above that there's Michael Myers and
Chucky and
and
Freddy.
Freddy all playing poker. So I was like, no, he doesn't like any of those movies. But yes, I knew Clue.
You knew Clue. It's just the funniest movie I've ever seen. I laugh. I mean, I've seen it over 100 times, and I laugh as hard today as I did the first time I watched it.
I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's as good as you guys do.
Obviously,
But
nobody thinks it's as good as I do.
Jen just saw it for the first time like 2 days ago.
did she enjoy it?
She kept saying this is strange. And then she was very surprised when the second ending came on.
What? I thought it was over.
And then when the third ending came
Or
on.
it could have happened like this.
But here's how it really happened.
A stupid little. What am I looking for?
Campy.
No, like the idea to bring people into the theater by having different endings.
Yeah.
There's a word to describe what I'm saying, but I mean, and it probably didn't work watching it in the movie because one of the best lines from the entire movie is from one of the endings where you could have missed some of the best stuff if you went to the wrong showing. Like flames on the side of my face is only in one ending.
Aren't people like you? Don't people refer to you as fruits? I'm a plant. I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
But here's how it really happened.
Okay, what's your from the 90s there,
Wait.
Jeff?
Oh, well.
Josie and the Pussycats?
That was the 2000s, so it wouldn't
okay.
be my 90s movie, and it's not going to be from the 2000s. 90s, come on.
90s.
Come on. Jim, you know this one.
No, do I?
My favorite and what I consider the best movie of the 90s got screwed out of an Oscar.
Oh, Babe.
Babe.
That year you could put on any movie up that year could be on this list.
And Babe is the best of it.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do. Oh, perfect in its subtlety. Cutest pig ever.
I'm not saying that Babe was a bad movie by any means. That was a fantastic movie, but not the best one of the 90s.
And according to you, that would be...
I have a Polish film. It's the Kieslowski film, Red, from the Three Colors trilogy,
Yep.
Blue, White, and Red.
That was on list I saw, actually.
But I think it was up for Best Picture in the Oscars. I did like several other ones from the 90s, but that one stands out, especially when together with Blue and White.
Okay. I'll go Jason's first because I thought about putting it on my list.
Okay.
It's Shawshank Redemption.
Yep.
Again, anytime you're stuck, a movie comes on, you turn it on, and I gotta watch this. You've been Shawshanked, because that's what happens anytime Shawshank Redemption's on. It's like, I've seen this 47 times, but I'm gonna sit here and watch the rest of it.
Oh, man, I've been Shawshanked. So Jason's was the Shawshank Redemption.
Jason's Shawshank. Mine, I did a comedy and a drama. The first drama I have on the list here.
Oh, so you Hobie'd this one too?
Yes.
Oh.
Comedy, I mean, people are going to yell at me for this, but
Boo.
it's Happy Gilmore. It is so ridiculously funny.
I love the movie. I don't know if I can put it on a best movie list.
Of the decade.
I just did. Well, this one is a much better
you
film.
have so far in these 3 decades, you have 2 films about golf. I'm not sure I can name more than 2 films about golf.
Tin Cup.
Okay. And
The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Okay, I can name 4 films about golf. Period.
The greatest game ever played?
Was that the one with Shia LaBeouf?
Yes.
And then there was the Bobby Jones movie.
Story.
Where Jim Caviezel was supposedly playing a teenage Bobby Jones.
At like 44 years old.
It didn't look good.
The other movie I have back from 1995, The Usual Suspects.
I can agree. Usual Suspects is yeah. It's one of my favorites. So.
And they knew that Kevin Spacey was the bad guy way back.
Oh, yes. Look at me, I'm Kevin Spacey, I'm the bad guy.
Hi, everybody, I'm Kevin Spacey, but really I'm not. I'm really Kaiser Soze.
Kaiser Soze touches little boys.
Now we're spoiling movies from the 90s.
We're so sorry, everybody who hasn't seen.
Spoiler alert, sorry,
Usual
Michael.
Suspects.
Did you see the Facebook back and forth that Brigger and I had on? He tried to spoil Casablanca, or was it Casablanca?
Yeah.
So then I said, Rosebud is a sled. And then somebody said, Dumbo can fly without the feather. And Bambi's mother dies violently.
It's like spoiling movies from the 40s. So then Jason throws out a movie from the 30s.
Yeah. Ruins it.
I know.
Okay, Jason's from the 2000s. We're new in the 2000s now. He says, The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knigget. It's one I thought of.
I did too. But instead I have 3 movies on here I have to decide between.
Oh. So should we just skip over you while you're deciding? Or?
Well, I'm going to break it down to 2.
Oh, okay.
And then Hobie that
I'm
shit.
going to Hobie this shit with 2 of them. I have to have a comedy on here, don't I?
If you want, it's your list.
And I think it's a subtle comedy. It's a Wes Anderson film. The Royal Tenenbaums.
That's a good one.
Another movie I can just watch anytime it's on.
And that's fantastic. I wish I had thought of that.
It's not one I can watch anytime it's on. That's one, like, if I miss the beginning, I don't want to watch the movie.
No.
I can see that. I can see missing part of it. Yeah. But I've seen it so often that I think I can make it through it without.
Yeah. I know what's going on. And the other one would be Gladiator.
Isn't that from like the late 80s, early 90s?
It was 2000.
Oh, you're not talking about the Cuba Gooding Jr. boxing movie?
No.
Oh.
I am not talking about Cuba Gooding Jr. and Brian Dennehy. Top of the head, hardest part of the body.
Oh, okay. So the Ridley Scott.
Yes, Gladiator film.
Gotcha.
Timmy, have you seen any Gladiator? Do you like Gladiator movies?
That didn't make my list. Airplane was one I did consider for the 80s, but
Yeah.
I like Clue better.
I should have guessed Clue.
Should have. And you should have guessed Babe.
So Jeff, what's yours for the 2000s?
I have it narrowed down to 2, and I don't like Hobieing stuff. I'm gonna go with There Will Be Blood.
I thought
It's
about
Paul,
that one.
It's Paul Thomas
Yep.
Anderson's best, and he was one of the best living directors out there.
I am an oil man.
And it was fantastic. It was between that and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Eternal Sunshine was the third one I had written down here.
Eternal Sunshine was, I think, what I was leaning towards until I remembered the one I put on.
Josie and the Pussycats?
No, it wasn't Josie. I was going to put Eternal Sunshine over Josie.
Really?
Yeah.
Punch Drunk Love.
Even though Josie and the Pussycats is the best movie ever, according to the movie itself.
No, well, I'm surprised no one's put down the the movie that won best movie ever by the Academy Award. The Academy Award for best movie ever.
Yeah.
Highlander.
According to Ricky Bobby. But, well, you want to take a guess at my 2000s? It's not Josie and the Pussycats.
I think I'm out of guesses. I don't know.
It's not a comedy. It's a little action adventure.
National Treasure.
No.
National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets.
Definitely not.
Con
I
Air.
think that was the 2010s.
Face Off.
No. God, no. That was the 90s. No.
Armageddon.
No, that was the 90s. No. It was a good movie.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was worse.
I picked Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I'll take the whole trilogy, but if I have to narrow it down, I'll say Fellowship of the Ring because that's my favorite. Once the Fellowship broke up, it kind of lost its way a little bit. The heart of the story disappeared.
I agree that was the best.
I actually enjoyed the second one.
I mean, the second and third ones had a lot more stunning fight scenes and war battles and whatnot. I'll give them that.
The battle outside the
Helm's Deep
was one of my favorite.
And I'll agree that's a better battle than the Battle of Pelennor Fields, which was supposed to be the better battle.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the story just felt like it was just getting real big versus, just it lost its heart. But love the movies, especially the director cuts.
It lost its heart because Sean Bean died.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, spoiler alert.
Damn it!
Oh, now we're spoiling movies.
Sean Bean dies in a movie. Spoiler.
Yeah, that's what happened with Game of Thrones. That was done after Sean Bean died in that.
Yet it went on for 8 more seasons or 7 more seasons.
7.5 more seasons. I did mention another Sean Bean movie there with National Treasure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He didn't die. He didn't
He
die.
didn't die in
one,
National
no.
Treasure.
He got
I mean,
arrested.
spoiler alert.
Yeah, I spoiled it.
That's the spoiler. That's the spoiler. Where Sean Bean doesn't die in a
He
movie.
didn't have a horrific death? I can't watch this.
He did die in The Island. Terrible, terrible, terrible movie.
Was that Danny Boyle?
That was Michael Bay.
Which one was the beach? Was the
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio?
yeah, that was Danny Boyle.
I still don't get it. Well, I'm still trying to figure out some of the Aronofsky films.
Yeah, I still don't get The Fountain.
I've seen it like 20 times, and I can't tell you what happened.
Yeah, a couple of like Noah and the Fountain. I just pretend he was having a stroke when he was making that. We crossed those out. The Black Swan was fantastic. Pie was fantastic, but weird, but not in a weird way that just makes no sense.
I enjoyed The Wrestler and even Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, Requiem for a Dream was good. And I watched Dune again recently, thinking that I like David Lynch. I haven't seen Dune in a long time. It's still awful. It is a
But Sting
terrible, terrible movie.
I saw that in, was that 1984?
It was in the
83,
80s.
84. I saw that when it came out. A friend of mine had read the books, and I was, 7th or 8th grade whenever that came out, and I'm like, I never read these books, but he likes them, so we went and saw them, and I'm like, I don't know what I just watched. Do I gotta pretend I liked it?
But it reminded me of an Aronofsky stroke movie. Like The Fountain. Or Noah. It was a lot like Noah. Noah and Dune.
I just watched this. Yeah, no idea. Nope, don't get it.
Well, so that was my 2000s pick.
I'm pretty sure. And did you ever see Noah?
No, I never watched that.
They're building the ark, and then these big rock monsters come attacking the ark, and they're fighting them off, and then they stop the dinosaurs or something from getting on the. It's ridiculous.
So you're saying I need to see Noah?
Yes.
It probably has some deeper meaning, but
It definitely has some deeper meaning that nobody else gets.
Mother was good. Mother was very good.
I think you're the only person I've ever talked to that said that was a good movie.
It was very good.
I've seen like some critics say it, but you're the only person I've ever talked to that.
Well, he is the Hobie critic.
Well, he is. Yes, you're right. So it's a movie only critics can like.
So what's your 2010s there?
Anyone want to take a guess? Because this is an obvious one too.
Oh, we just don't know you that well.
Jason would call it right away.
Into the Spider-Verse.
No. Oh, not a bad one. But it's a movie that I love and Jason hates.
Well, that's like a lot.
Mall Cop.
Inception. Mall Cop. Mall Cop. Wow. You really think that low of me?
Well, I was thinking of the movies that Jason hates.
Thank God it's not Mall Cop.
Inception was very
Okay,
good.
Inception.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize that was 2010s. I would have guessed 2000s.
It was
on that.
2010. I thought it was 2009, but I looked it up and I went, oh, well, 2010s are taken care of. Now I got to find one from the 2000s. I stopped looking at the 2010s after I saw that's when Inception came out. So.
You'll never guess my 2010s.
You're right, I won't. A Serbian film.
It's La La Land. It's the best film ever made.
Oh yeah, I should have guessed.
Moonlight?
It's the best film ever made.
So you're saying I should watch
Damien
it?
Chazelle knows exactly. It's like he understands what makes up a film and exactly how to do it, and he even knows how to use colors. Like every color on the screen means something, and it helps to push the feeling of the audience forward. And every moment, everything goes towards the theme, which is jazz. But even if you don't like jazz, it's It's just everybody who knows what they're doing, like the cinematographer, they do. You know how to cinematographize better than me as the director, so go ahead and do your cinematographizing. And you're an actress. You know how to act better than I know how to teach you to act. Do your acting, and then we don't have a script, so do whatever.
And you're not a singer, but we'll let you sing anyway. Oh, well.
Exactly. But it all works, and it works so perfectly, and it's done perfectly. It's the best film ever made.
Okay. Do I have to go? I guess because he just said it's the best film ever made. I don't know if I can...
Oh, that's Jason.
I'm guessing that you have the same one.
I'm guessing Jason had La La Land as his number one.
Jason did not.
What?
Jason had... He hobied it.
Ooh, of course he did.
He had Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, wow.
And three billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Wow. Well, I didn't know he thought that highly of that movie.
3 billboards was on my list. But I have a few films on here. Of course, I'm hobbying this because that's what I do. Unlike Jeff. 2017. Dunkirk. Highly enjoyed that.
Okay.
So 2 Christopher Nolan films in the 2010s.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Then I'll go to 2012. My favorite Bond film, Skyfall.
Really?
Yes. And 2017, Star Wars Last Jedi. Incredible film. Everybody should love it.
Oh, it's the best Star Wars film.
Yes.
You're right.
That's why it's on. I don't have the Star Wars films. That's why I have Last Jedi on here. And Blake 100% agrees with me. Don't you, Blake?
That was nice of him.
He's nodding.
Yeah, he's nodding. Blake agrees. Jason's honorable mention was Blazing Saddles from the 70s. I had a Good Will Hunting, and was on my honorable mention list from 1997, and Braveheart was on my list. Jeff's favorite film.
Freedom.
I just can't believe it beat Babe for Best Picture that year.
Any other honorable mentions?
I think I mentioned mine during the
Eternal
course
Sunshine.
of the
Yep.
Eternal Sunshine, Dawn of the Dead.
Yep.
I can read some listener feedback.
What do the listeners say?
We've got R.J. Hole. He from the 70s, he picked Star Wars. 80s, oh, I'm sorry, Randy, Ghostbusters. 90s, Jurassic Park. The 2000s, Monsters, Inc. And the 2010s, Guardians of the Galaxy. With honorable mentions of Jaws, Empire Strikes Back, The Crow, Iron Man, and Kick-Ass.
The Crow.
The Crow.
I enjoyed The Crow.
I haven't seen it since it first came out. I wasn't a big fan back then, but that doesn't mean that means anything today.
We've got the Stork, Episodic Geek, chose Jaws, Raiders, I assume of the Lost Ark.
Here it says Raiders of the Lost Ark on the sheet.
Oh, I'm not reading the sheet. Okay. Pulp Fiction, Memento, Skyfall, and Logan. Hobied it.
There are a huge number of Nolan films on these lists. Dark Knight, we got Memento now, and
Dunkirk,
and Inception.
No one put Interstellar, though.
No?
There's a reason for that.
Jason's trying to tell me Interstellar's better than Inception. I don't know how, but...
Well, we'll ask the Gimp what he thinks of Jason's movie.
Okay.
Thoughts next time he's on.
We've got Doug said Robin Hood, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Milan.
Milan, not Mulan.
It says Milan. Meet the Robinsons and Tangled, with honorable mentions of Moana and Aladdin. And then he said...
The new Aladdin or the old animated one?
It doesn't say. I'm
Both.
assuming the new one. Then he says that's not his real list, and his real list doesn't have Disney or Marvel on it.
Did he send you the real list?
I don't see his real list.
Well, that's his real list.
Is
then.
it on the outline?
Not on the outline.
Let's see. Wait, did he comment? No. Nope. Well, that's it. That's Doug's real list, because I don't see it down here. Oh, I got to back up again. That was Doug. Intern Hackney. He's got Rocky.
He's a big Stallone guy.
When I was in college, I had a screenwriting course, and he said that was the best screenplay ever written.
Ooh.
Rocky.
Wow.
The first one.
It was actually
was
pretty
good.
good. And Stallone just his now persona. It's like he really wrote that. Yeah, he did.
For the 80s, he has The Breakfast Club, which, as much as I love the movie, I can't really say it's the best.
Demented and Sad,
but social.
but social.
It's one of my favorites, and definitely one I quote all the time. So I can't blame other people for liking it. He's got Saving Private Ryan. For the
Spielberg. First Spielberg movie on the list.
Was there Jaws?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
somebody did say Jaws.
Oh no, it's on here. I don't think we said it.
No, I think
somebody-
Stork did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Gladiators.
And
And Raiders. Gladiator and The Fighter. Too many to list as honorable mentions. You got Kevin at Cincy Explorer. He goes Apocalypse Now, The Breakfast Club, The Shawshank Redemption, The Dark Knight, and Inception.
Yeah, pretty much all his movies have been kind of set already.
And then he's got a sheet load of honorable mentions.
Just skip them.
The 70s, he's got The Godfather, Star Wars, and Jaws, then Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and The Shining, Schindler's List, Pulp Fiction, and Frago, Inglourious
Frago.
Bastards, Memento, and Iron Man.
You just read it the way it's typed?
Yep. 12 Years a Slave, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and The Social Network. And then Brad at the Cinema Guys picks Star Wars, The Thing, The Matrix, Children of Men, and Mad Max Fury Road.
Children of Men was an interesting film.
It's not one I can watch a lot. Over here on Facebook, we have David Brooks says One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, The Outsiders, Goodfellas, No Country for Old Men, and Whiplash.
Whiplash. That's Damien
Chazelle, before La La Land.
And it's a fantastic, fantastic film.
And someone Jeff is familiar with, Jen Adams says Monty Python and the Holy Grail, The Princess Bride, Goodfellas, 28 Days Later, and at number 1, La La Land / Moonlight. I Hobie that shit.
No!
She probably originally just had Moonlight and had to put La La Land there.
See, I didn't know if when I read that she's saying La La Land and then taking it away and giving it to Moonlight.
No. She hobied that shit.
Yeah. Sci Guy Dev. Saturday Night Fever. Who Framed Roger. Pulp Fiction and The Big Lebowski. Hashtag Hobie that shit. Hashtag I make my own rules. Donnie Darko and Django Unchained.
That's a bold choice.
Donnie Darko or Django Unchained?
Django Unchained.
There wasn't enough blood in Django Unchained. that real final fight scene.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was the much blood that they had in there wasn't even like that's more than in the human body of all those people who were in that scene.
There's more blood than actual blood carried into the fight.
You've seen Kill Bill, right?
They had blood pumped in. And we've got Joseph Campbell says Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Forrest Gump, and Lord of the Rings. Oh, by the way, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
So we can end on happy 4th of July.
So do we have a bad idea?
Bad idea of the week.
Number 986.
All right. Having more blood in your movie than people.
I was going to say having a immune system like a Brigger.
Oh, that's a bad idea. That should be higher up than 986.
We filled everything in, almost everything in between there.
Having Brigger's immune system. Ching. All right, so that is the end, and Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
From Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets, there's a history of not so bad. There's the history. It's the history of bad, so bad. The history of bad, it's bad. The history of bad ideas. Podcast.
Addendum. Titles for the show.
Well, you guys, I didn't write them down.
You didn't write anything down?
First one that I have is 2 hours, and I'm not sure where that came from. I assume it was something that we said earlier that was funny.
2 hours.
It was 2 hours something.
Pound Town.
Yeah, 2 hours.
2 hours to Pound
2
Town.
hours to Pound Town.
My second one is orange all the way through. My third one's butterfly in the sky.
I can fly twice as high. Oh, sorry.
Take up. My fourth one is Disney doesn't care.
Oh, we'll get sued for that.
And then more dragons.
More dragons I have written down.
That's what I was like. Nope, he's writing more dragons down.
And I am robot.
I am robot.
Yes, I had more dragons. I had laminated menus. Or, I'm sorry, lamented
Lamented
menus. I have zombie mice eating my fudge rounds. Or my fudge rounds are still in peril.
Ooh, I like the fudge round ones.
I like fudge rounds are still in peril.
I like that.
My fudge rounds are still in peril. Change approved.
You've been listening to Hobie.